I'm going to say good day to you this day of your time. How are you all? All right. All right, thank you. This transmission has been titled 2020, The Eye of the Storm. We would at this time like to get a little bit serious with you. Not the star system so much, but have what would amount perhaps to be a heart-to-heart. For what's coming up is very important in terms of your timing. We have said that your year of 2020 is a pivotal point in what you call your history. You are shifting through a very particular moment, crossing a very particular threshold. And so, at this timing, it is important for certain states of being to be paramount within you, to help you through this time, to help you cross that threshold in a positive and constructive manner. For what comes after will be predicated very strongly on what you do and who you are in 2020. We will reinforce the ideas we are about to share with you at the end of this transmission in your holotope meditation in a very particular way. But for now, we would like each and every one of you to know how important it is for you to truly be yourselves in the coming year. How important it will be for you to make decisions that are in alignment with your best discernment. How important it will be and how important it is for you to remain at the center of the storm. Because if I may use some of your colloquial language, 2020 is going to be nuts. It's going to be crazy. And it is of paramount importance that you remain, if you wish to be on a certain train, in the eye of the storm where it's calm, where peace and solitude reigns, where even though you may see the storm raging all around you, swirling around you, thundering and lightning all around you, it is more important than ever before, and more important than it will be for quite a long time during this crossing, during this threshold, during this pivotal year, to be at peace within yourself, to be calm within yourself, to be centered within the eye of the storm. So we would highly encourage each and every one of you to really take stock of who you really are and what kind of decisions you really choose to make and how they are or are not in alignment with what you truly wish your world to be. We will give you a suggestion that may assist. For most of you are at least to some degree familiar with what we have told you about how our world functions, who we are, in simple terms, what we stand for, and what reality we are encouraging you to align with so that you can experience eventually more contact with us and us with you. It is crucial, critical in this coming year to set the stage, to set the foundation for the years to come after with the state of being that represents that which is most harmonious with the vibration we have shared with you that is representative of our reality, if you wish to have a reality to shift to a version of Earth where we can interact openly and freely with each other, in beauty, in harmony, in creativity, in love. And to have the ability to look deep within yourselves and not allow the idea of fear-based opinion to supersede your deep-seated knowledge of who you actually prefer to be and what kind of a world you prefer to live in. So we encourage you, at any time in this coming year, when you allow yourself to stay at peace and be calm in the eye of the storm, to think of what it would be like if you were one of us. What kind of decisions would you make if you were coming from our world but living on earth? How would we respond to the things that happen and come up, the circumstances and situations and opportunities that will arise in your year of 2020? And to come from that center of balance and peace and calm and solitude and assurance and confidence and knowingness. And come from there in your actions, in your relations, in your understanding of others that you may encounter on your journey. And to not settle for those things that you think, in your opinion, are the things that would serve when you know in your heart they may not. Create the vision of the world that you would really prefer to live in, a world that contains the ability to interact with us and other beings like us, that contains the ability to expand your senses instead of contracting them, so that you may receive as a more receptive antenna higher frequency information. By remaining in the center, in the eye of the storm, you will be far more capable of being receptive to the images and the information and the messages that we are always constantly sending you. Remember this, remember this, remember this, and take it to heart. We never leave you. It is you that leave us. So choose the vibration, the frequency, the energy, if you wish, to have that kind of a world that represents what you believe we would do if we were you, if you were us, in all the situations that may arise in the upcoming storm. Stay in the center, and no matter how it may seem to swirl around you, no matter how scary it may seem, be discerning of the vibration of those with whom you associate, of those that you would align with, that in no way, shape, or form represent the world that in your heart of hearts you truly prefer to experience. Now, of course, it is always up to you to make the choices that you believe are true for you, and we would never tell you to do otherwise. All we do is encourage you to understand that if you wish to align with a version of Earth that we are aligned with in your future, and have the interactions and the freedom to play among the stars with us, that you choose to remain in the eye of the storm, no matter what rages around you, and that you look deep within your heart of hearts and make choices that are really true to your core and not simply obedient to the fear-based beliefs or opinions that sometimes allow you to think is the path when you know deep within it is not. Be strong, be courageous, and be at peace in the upcoming time and the crossing of the threshold, for everything thereafter will take its cue from the seed you plant that year. We are always magnifying and amplifying the energies through the different vortices of your planet to help balance your world and give you a greater opportunity to slide smoothly across that threshold. We have been talking about times of transition now for quite some time on your planet. And as we already have experienced with you, things are changing rapidly on your world. And as we have said, they will only get crazier in the year to come. So do not make the measure of who you are as a being by what you see swirling around you. Make that measure by who you know you prefer to be, and stay in the center of the eye, where the calmness and the peace in your heart and your mind, your soul, your spirit, will allow you to have the resolve to stand firm in what you know to be true, really true, deep within your soul, deep within your hearts, so that you can let go of those things that are truly not vibrationally compatible with the world you prefer to create. There will always be another path. Just because sometimes your choices may seem limited doesn't mean they actually are. There is always a third alternative. Always. So let yourself be at peace enough to find it, to see it, to walk it, together in harmony and unison and love. We will crystallize this idea again in the meditation at the end of this transmission, but for now, we wanted to have this heart-to-heart with you. And if you simply want to allow yourself to simplify everything we have just said so that you can make your choices, your decisions, and discernment more easily, then once again, I simply remind you. And it can be any name in this position that is representative of the same kind of energy, of the energy of your higher mind. It doesn't have to be specifically us. But if you're confused at any point, if you feel yourself being tugged away from that center at any point, just ask, what would the Essassani people do? And do that. And you will be fine and back in the center. For you know us well enough to know what we would choose. Up to you. We thank you for allowing us to have this heart-to-heart with you. And in return for that gift, we ask, how may we continue to be of service to you now in your dialogues and questions? Please begin as you so desire. Oh, and by the way, you can shake off the seriousness now and lighten up.
Ooh, that was scary.
Though we rarely would say to go in that direction, in this case it might actually be appropriate to be just a tiny bit scared and use the fear in a positive way to align you with what you know is true for you.
Ili over, Bashar.
Yes, Ili Ova.
I'm a quick learner. I came all the way from Tokyo.
Oh, all right. I came all the way from Essassani.
What a synchronicity.
Yes.
In the eye of the storm,
Yes.
it's really important to take action.
Yes.
Because the action is the language of physical reality.
But stay within that center when you take the action.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the center. So I'd like to ask you again, what's your definition, what's the exact definition of action from your point of view?
Action, physical action, physical activity, literal physical activity.
You said that like doing the meditation is not free action?
It sets up the state. Let me put it to you by a very simple example. You walked up to the microphone.
Yeah.
That's an action. Instead of staying in your seat and thinking about walking up to the microphone, about meditating about walking up to the microphone, you walked up to the microphone. That's an action, a physical action. It's not that complicated.
Okay. So if I organize a group meditation and maybe I will ask the people around me to participate and actually do the meditation, maybe it's going to be more action.
Again, you can begin with that kind of an action, but you must proceed from there once you get yourself into the appropriate state. The meditation is not the end.
Okay.
It's the beginning of an action. And if you get into the proper state, it will actually propel you to then move forward and take actions that are expressions, creative expressions of the energy state that the meditation got you into. So it's an expression, a physical expression of some form of interaction and creativity. Yes?
Okay, yes. So if I'm in that state, the action naturally unfolds, maybe to take the form of an outward expression of some
You will
sort.
feel the urge to take an action, to interact when you are in the proper state. You will want to move. You will want to interact with others. You will want to share something in a physical, creative way.
Okay, I got it.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And it seems that I have to ask about the Serpent Mound.
Yes, Serpent Mound in Ohio.
Yeah, right. Last night you said to the
I said there are codes, if you can decode them, in the Serpent Mound that will point you in the direction of where one of the master crystal skulls is buried.
Yeah, right. So the
Yes, I know. Thank you for confirming that.
You're right. Yeah, I know you know. The skull is that skull is a sequoia skull. Sequoia skull.
Yes, Sequoia.
Okay. So I didn't think that Ohio could be considered to be a northeastern region of
It's northeast from where you are now.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you. I know that too.
And I was kind of trying to decode that code in Serpent Mound.
Yes, well, go ahead. Play with it. See what you get.
Yeah, my
Do
guess.
your research.
Yeah, my guess is that the skull may be in the direction of true north from the sun.
I am not going to give you any more assistance. Go and do your research. Go and play with it.
I did go to Serpent Mound this August.
Then have fun.
Yeah, I did.
All right. See what you get.
You're right. There are many astronomical alignments at Serpent Mound.
Yes.
Like its face, its head is facing the sunset time of summer solstice.
Yes.
Maybe that may be the one clue. And
Maybe.
also, I was very attracted to the fact that one of the stars. I have to ask.
If you have to ask.
The Draco constellation, about Draco constellation.
Draco, yes.
Yeah, right. And Serpent Mound is Serpent Mound imitates
Yes.
the Draco constellation.
There's a connection.
Okay. And one of the stars in Draco constellation used to be North Pole star. Maybe when the Serpent Mound was created. Is that right?
I'm not giving you any more clues.
I'm not asking for clues.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Well,
So, bye-bye.
about this information. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Oh, just that's it?
That's it on the Serpent Mound. Have you got something else?
Yes, of course, yes.
All right, then change the subject.
Okay. Then I'm gonna ask about the dragon again.
Yes.
I want to ask about the archetypal story structures and story of a dragon being slain or killed by a hero. There are many this kind of story all over the world from the ancient times.
Yes.
And so this must symbolize or represent something, some incident that actually took place in ancient times, I guess.
In a sense, it does. It is symbolic of certain things that have happened on your planet historically, yes. But the idea now is to resurrect the dragon, which represents ancient knowledge and wisdom.
Yeah, okay. And I like to pick up one specific story from Greek mythology
Yes.
about Hercules.
Yes.
Uh, and I think you once told me that what Hercules represents is an actual individual who...
Yes, the idea again of the offspring of the Anunnaki and humans, what you call the demigods.
Yes, right. That Anunnaki is not the original Anunnaki, but offshoot group of Anunnaki.
Hercules, the demigods, are offspring of Anunnaki and human.
Okay. Okay.
Are you following that?
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
I do follow that.
All right.
Okay. About the story of Hercules.
Yes.
One story is that Hercules was told to steal some of the golden apples in the gardens of
Yes.
in the gardens, and there was a dragon
Yes.
who was guarding that
Yes,
golden
yes.
apple tree, and the Hercules killed the
Yes,
dragon,
yes.
and that dragon named Ladon was the image of that dragon was brought up into the sky.
All right. There are always going to be positive and negative images of every symbol. So in the idea of resurrecting the ancient wisdom and knowledge, that's the positive side. The slaying of the dragon is simply going within to allow yourself to overcome and supersede the limitations imposed within your genetic structure so that you may be able to access that ancient wisdom and knowledge again.
Okay, so that golden apples symbolizes that knowledge and
Yes,
wisdom.
because it ties directly into your ancient story of the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
Yeah, like in the Garden of Eden.
Yes. So it ties directly symbolically into that idea that you were prevented as a species from having a certain amount of knowledge that would make you equal to the gods, the Anunnaki. But now it is time for those markers that were turned off to be turned on again. The dragon being representative to some degree of a higher level version of your DNA. The dragon represents the third strand.
Oh, really? Oh, that's good to hear. And at the end of this story, the image of dragon Ladon was brought up into the sky and said to have become the Draco constellation.
Yes. Therefore, there are things that are connected to that constellation astronomically that can assist you in discovering certain truths, certain ancient knowledge at this time of opening on your planet.
Okay.
So thank you.
Hercules.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, so that's the end of my question.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Love you, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
So I was here in February, earlier this year, and one of the things there was something that you mentioned to me during one of the questions and answers I had the opportunity to speak with, and just wanted to quickly touch base on that. As a result of that, I'm in the process of going through some life changes that are very exciting at the moment.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm in the middle of quitting my job and moving to the Amazon jungle.
Oh, all right. How
with
exciting.
various shamanistic practices. Yeah, very exciting. So thank you very much.
Yes, well, you did it. So thank you very much.
Thank you. One of the things that you quickly talked about near the end of my Q&A was that I had hybrid children.
Yes.
I was wondering if you'd be able to elaborate on that a little bit.
In what direction?
Are there any of them that would like to connect with me at this time? And is there anything that you could give me in relation?
There may be, but it's not going to happen in this particular moment in the way that you're talking about. They're always available to be connected with, and you can do that yourself.
Okay. Is there any guidance that you can provide us to how I can connect with them, certain signature frequencies I can...
Well, you understand the formula we've given all of you, yes?
Yeah.
Because what happens when you act on your passion? You raise your frequency. What happens when you raise your frequency? You become a better antenna and a better receiver of higher frequency information and communication.
Okay.
That's why we give you the formula, because it contains every answer you need for all the things that you desire to connect to that are relevant for you to experience in your life. We don't leave anything out. It's completely self-contained. Just follow the formula, and everything that needs to unfold, and every appointment you've made, and every agreement you've made, and every communication you need to have from whomever will happen in perfect timing if you simply continue to raise your frequency by following the formula of acting on your passion to the best you can with no insistence or assumption of the outcome and remaining in a positive state no matter what happens. That's it. We can't make it any simpler for you. It's that simple. Just follow the formula. Everything that needs to happen that will fulfill you and serve you will happen in perfect timing.
Beautiful, thank you.
Just keep moving.
Okay, and on that note as well, just with the channeling, that's something I've been working with and being able to connect with certain frequencies and matching that within my own body. And I've also been using DMT to supplement as well as a way of amplifying that connection, which I found to be a powerful permission slip for me.
All right.
Is there any advice or any guidance I can give for me or any alterations that I can make that may...
Well, again, as we have said, there are teachers, such as the idea of the DMT and other substances that the earth itself provides as teachers. But at a certain point, you come to realize that what you're learning is to get into that state on your own without the teacher so that you can graduate and not allow the teacher to become a crutch. Yes?
Yeah, that's what I found. The more I'm able to get into that state, the less I need that sort of teacher. But then it's teaching me to reach certain other levels I'm then able to match as well.
Again, pay attention. It will not always necessarily feel the same as it did before, but you have to know you're in the proper state. And as we have reminded many of you, the trick to this is to remember the physics of it. The physics being you cannot experience what you're not the vibration of first. So to even remember what it was like to have been in that state means you're in the state. Because if you're not in the state, you wouldn't be able to remember what it was like to be in the state. So as soon as you remember, oh yes, I remember what it felt like to be in that state, you're in the state. You have to be in the state to have the memory. Make sense?
Does it?
That's the trick. So realize that, and you will simply be in the state automatically anytime you remember what it was like to be in the state.
Awesome.
Yes?
Yep.
Does that help?
It does indeed.
And?
So when I'm having sort of my own DMT ceremonies, I'm connecting with certain frequencies, certain beings, and there's been mention of jesters, machine elves in certain types of circles.
Interesting labels for certain kinds of levels of consciousness that you may encounter, because the DMT has very specific frequency levels, each of which represents a different domain, a different realm, and a different ability and a different level to communicate with different levels of consciousness. Very specific layers within the DMT frequencies will connect you to very specific domains with very specific inhabitants.
Okay. Is there any way that I can more consciously choose to match certain frequencies that will then allow me to assist me in... Actually, sorry, scratch that question.
Let me see. There's this thing I've heard about called following your passion. Maybe that might help.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it just came into my thought at the moment. One of the things I did want to ask you is more verbal channeling. So as I'm connected with these energies, I'm finding the energies more forming into my mouth. And
if you wish to verbal channel, one of the easiest ways to do it is to be surrounded by people who are asking questions they really need to know the answer to.
Okay.
Because then they act as a circuit that pulls the information through you into them and grounds it in them. Because if the information is just coming into you for you, it doesn't need to go anywhere, and you don't really need to fully get into that state. But if others are asking a question, then in a sense you can get out of the way and just let it flow through you like electricity grounding into a circuit.
Correct. Okay.
So practice that and you will get better at it.
Right. Okay. So at the moment it's more just sort of baby gurgles or something. It's like the energy.
You can start however you need to start and know that whatever comes through at that moment is appropriate and it is perfectly fine. Don't worry about looking foolish or crazy or sounding like it doesn't make sense. Just keep practicing like anything and you will get better at it.
Okay. Awesome.
Does that help?
It does, yeah. Is there anything else that...
Enjoy your journey to the Amazon.
Awesome.
You will find something there that will also amplify your ability to connect to the hybrid children.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Bashar.
You are
Love
welcome.
you.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Good day. I had no idea I was going to be coming here until this morning.
All
I
right.
just followed the breadcrumbs and then realized, oh, I got to go see this event.
Oh, all right. And who left all those messy breadcrumbs on the ground for you to follow?
I am a bit of a slob sometimes, so I guess I did.
Oh, all right. But nevertheless, doing so led you where you need to be.
Yes, as always.
Yes.
Last night, I had a vision of Willa
Yes.
and a sense of her energy.
All
If
right.
you could say hi to her in some way, I'd appreciate
You
it.
just said hi to her.
Oh, okay, great. And I also had a knowing that I was going to be coming up today. A very strong sense. It didn't seem filled with any negative ego. I'm not sure if I've sensed that before.
All right. Well, now you can practice knowing what that feels like so that you can allow yourself to know when you know, as opposed to when you wonder about something. It's
Thank
a different frequency. So now you can get used to that by using that sensation as a marker for when you're in the proper state to know what you need to know.
Great, thank you.
Yes. Well, I didn't do it. You did.
Thanks for reminding me.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah. Let's see. You've mentioned before that questions hold the answers.
Yes, of course, because if you didn't have the answer somewhere within you, you wouldn't conceive of the question. So it's an issue of taking that bent over little question mark and straightening it out into an exclamation point.
All I have left is, do you mind if I share a bit about myself with the audience?
A bit.
A bit, sure. I can help assist with locating, acknowledging, and releasing negative beliefs. I'm also looking for a place to stay in the next few days. I'm an artist, musician, composer, and I have some experience with improv acting. And I feel like there's something else, but it's not coming to me right now.
That's all right, but that will be sufficient to allow any synchronicity for those that seek what you have to offer to make a connection with you.
Thanks so much. Take care.
Thank you.
Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I have like a threefold question.
Oh, all right. Let's unpack it.
And the first one is the connection between like spirit and mind.
Yes. You want to know about that?
Yeah.
Shall we address that before you continue to the others?
We can address that one first, yeah.
All right. Spirit is your natural state, a non-physical expression of your existence as a consciousness, or what might be called soul at first. The soul then, in desiring to have what you would call a physical experience, will in a sense create a division within itself. And in that division, there is the non-physical higher mind that remains in spirit to act as a guide for the physical mind that is then created in order to have the physical experience. When the physical mind, which is composed of belief systems that reinforce the validity of physical reality as being real through the idea, the reinforcement through emotions and the idea of thoughts and behaviors and experiences that reinforce the belief system, that is the structure of the physical mind. And as the physical mind has its physical experience, it sort of takes the unfired clay of the soul and starts turning it into the ceramic of the spirit that is specifically representative of that particular personality's experience in physical reality, which is then used by the soul to expand. So soul, higher mind, physical mind, spirit through the experience, back to the soul. Does that make sense?
Well, yes, you're getting there.
All right.
So, for instance,
Yes.
I consider myself always in high spirits.
Well, all right.
Always in high spirits.
Yes.
But not always in correct mind. So I'm trying to
All right. Yes.
sync those two.
Yes. So the
High
idea.
spirits,
Yes. I understand.
correct mind.
I understand. So the idea of the mind not being aligned with the high spirits is due to belief systems that construct the physical mind, and whether or not those belief systems are out of alignment with who you truly are as a spirit or in alignment with who you truly are as a spirit. So the idea is to examine what belief systems you might be holding on to, maybe even unconsciously, that are out of alignment with who you truly are vibrationally. That's the process by which you bring the mind, the physical mind, into alignment with the spirit. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
So fear-based belief systems, negative-based belief systems will always push you out of alignment with your true vibrational spirit. Positive belief systems will bring you back into alignment with the vibration of your spirit. It's as simple as that. So finding out what those belief systems are that are making you out of alignment and letting them go will bring you back into alignment with your high spirits as a mind. Now, the heart receives the vibration, communication directly from the higher mind, and then bounces that communication into the physical mind, but it has to go through the filter of the belief system. So the heart reminds you, in a sense, as a physical reminder of who you really are, and thus gives you an opportunity to examine what belief systems the physical mind may be holding on to in its construction that isn't allowing it to receive that communication as clearly as it could. Yes? Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. Does that answer your question?
The first question, yeah.
Yes, I know. Does that answer the first question?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. And what is your second
Now, the
question?
second question is how to listen and hear better as a way to sustain a higher synchronicity.
Well, again, we have given you all the formula. You act on your passion every moment that you can on whatever contains the highest amount of excitement more than any other option. You do that to the best of your ability, taking it as far as you can until you can take it no further. And then you look for the next thing that contains more excitement, even just a little bit more attractiveness, more curiosity, more passion than any other option, no matter what it is, no matter how simple it is. And you act on that one next and take it as far as you can until you can take it no further. And you do all these actions with absolutely zero assumption, zero insistence on what the outcome is supposed to be. And no matter what manifests, no matter how it looks, from the actions you take, you remain in a positive state so that you can extract a beneficial effect from whatever it is that manifests. Because whatever it is that manifests, even if it's something that you neutrally and objectively don't prefer, you have to know it's got to be there for a reason that could serve you. And by remaining in a positive state, as you say, remaining in high spirits and not giving over to the definition of the negative idea or the non-preferred idea in a negative way, then you will remain in a state that will allow you to receive the benefit from that thing having manifested. And that simply means what you're doing is using what you don't prefer in a way that you do prefer. And that allows you to sustain that energy because you're making choices that are in alignment with clear definitions of who you are and what you prefer to be. Is that making sense?
Well,
I'll add something to that, but does that make sense for the moment?
yes, because some time ago I heard you talked about that, and
Yes.
I went out and realized that.
Yes.
Do what excites you, and
With
the more you do it, you get more excited.
And you do that with no insistence, no assumption
Right, right.
of what the outcome ought to be, because the truth is, when you're honest with yourself, you understand the truth is you have no clue what the best result actually needs to look like. None. The physical mind is not designed to know how something needs to happen. The higher mind knows how something needs to happen. So it's about letting go of the negative ego assumption that the physical mind is supposed to know exactly what things are supposed to turn out to be. It really has no clue. Sometimes you might coincide in the physical mind with something that manifests that is coming from the higher mind as well. But more often than not, you really have no idea what things are supposed to happen that really do serve you best. So the idea is to let go of any insistence that you do. Now, also, as you say, to maintain that particular state is simply an understanding of how things work and realizing that what we're giving you as this information is not a philosophy. It's actually literally a description of how reality works. It's an instruction manual. So if you just follow the instructions, it will work to your advantage. That's the way it's designed. The idea also is to ask the questions at every moment where you might question yourself, at every moment where you might seem to be out of alignment. You stop and stay in that moment and ask the question in one of two ways. What would I have to believe is true about myself in order to be experiencing what I'm experiencing in my emotions, my thoughts, my behavior, or the overall experience of my life? And if you listen, you will get the answer as to what that belief is. Or, because most of you are so used to dealing with the idea of fear, you can ask the question in another direction. And that is, if I just allowed myself to be who I really prefer to be, what am I afraid might happen? That will usually reveal the negative belief system that then you can work with to let go of. And letting go of it is simply an issue of examining it closely enough to understand that it actually makes no sense anymore to hold on to it. And once something makes no sense, it's gone. If you still hold on to that belief, if you still experience the misalignment, that should be your first clue that there is another belief making that one continue to make sense to hold on to. And as soon as you get down to examining the foundational belief, the negative belief that doesn't work for you, and let that one go, all the secondary negative beliefs will collapse along with it. But sometimes a foundational negative belief will hide under secondary negative beliefs and allow you to think that you have let the foundational one go when all you've done is let a secondary one go. Because all beliefs need to perpetuate themselves in order for you to continue to have a physical reality experience, because physical reality isn't real. They have to convince you that it's real. And the only way a belief can convince you that it's real is convince you that what it's telling you is a fact. But negative beliefs will only tell you negative things about yourself. You have to let go of buying into the idea of what it's telling you. And sometimes, to perpetuate themselves, negative beliefs will hide under other beliefs or make you so afraid to let go of them that you simply won't do it. You have to see through those things as the way the negative belief is simply designed to perpetuate itself. What they're telling you are not facts. They're just a way of keeping you from letting them go. Is this helping?
Yes.
Does that answer the second question sufficiently?
Well, part of the second question was you sort of answered it to the gentleman that came before me.
Yes.
It's about there again. It was you said that when you're experienced,
Yes.
that's why your mind was able to bring it up. All right, you have a positive experience,
Yes.
like I was talking about listening and hearing.
Yes.
So you had that experience. And I was talking about sustaining that.
What I'm saying is the sustaining is automatically built in. It's not an extra thing you have to do. What we're talking about when we give you the formula is a complete kit. It comes with everything you need, including the idea of sustaining. Because let me put it to you this way. If you're actually acting on your excitement, if you're truly acting on your passion, what other choice would you make that would seem more reasonable? You wouldn't make another choice to do something else. So the very idea of simply continuing to choose to act on your excitement because no other choice seems sensible automatically contains the sustaining. Because you're simply not seeing any other choice as making sense. Right?
Right.
So if no other choice makes sense, you never leave that state, you're automatically sustaining it by no other choice making more sense. It's that simple. Does that answer it?
Yes, thank you.
All right. And the third?
That's it. That's it. Because the answer, the gentleman before me,
All right.
you said something to him that answered the third.
All right. How synchronous of us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Remember, it just all comes down to making choices. This is your greatest power, the freedom to choose. So just decide what it is you prefer to choose and keep choosing it. Otherwise, you're saying that something contrary to that makes more sense. Examine the belief that would make you believe that and realize it makes no sense. Just keep choosing what you prefer. Why choose anything else?
Hey, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
That's really loud. You kind of shocked me.
Good. Want to make sure you're all awake.
I'm awake now. Experiences.
Yes?
Okay. So, let's say you regret an experience out of your past. Oh, not regret.
Say that again.
You had a sexual experience when you were a kid
Yes.
that you regret,
All right.
and because of that, I
Yes.
feel not all the way pure.
All right. So let me ask you this question. Are you that kid now?
No,
So why are you continuing to recreate that experience in your present?
I think it's society.
Why are you choosing to continue to recreate that experience in your present if you're not that person anymore? Did you learn from it?
But
Did you learn from that experience that you preferred something different?
I'm not sure that I'm not sure that I all the way believe that I'm not that kid, because
All right,
society
we'll get to
tells
that
us.
in a moment.
Yes.
We'll get to that in a moment. Answer this question first. Did you learn something from that experience that allowed you to realize that you prefer something different? Yes or no?
Yeah.
All right. So are you applying that new knowledge in your life now? What you learned, are you behaving in a different way?
Am I behaving in a different way? Yes.
All right. So doesn't the new behavior supersede what happened in the past?
What does supersede mean?
Take the place of. Doesn't it replace what happened in the past because you have learned from it and are now applying a new behavior? Doesn't that make you a different person?
I want to say yes,
Why do you want to say yes?
because
Because it feels better, doesn't it?
it does feel better.
Then why not believe it, regardless of what society says? Why not believe you are a different person now?
Because society makes me feel wrong.
Because society says what?
They make me feel wrong, or they make me feel.
They don't make you feel anything. They may suggest how you could make yourself feel, but if you don't prefer to feel that way, why are you agreeing with them? Because you're the one making yourself feel what you're feeling. No one else can make you feel anything.
That's right. So
I know.
I just practice. So is there a way to get there? Is it probably by follow my highest excitement that eventually
The formula will help, but
Okay.
you also have to really understand how things work, what the structure of existence is like. Everything exists here and now. You understand that time is an illusion?
Yes.
Even your scientists understand this now. Yes? It's not real. It's a side effect. Time is a side effect of your consciousness shifting through billions of parallel reality moments every second. So if everything exists here and now, the only way you can experience what appears to be different moments is by actually shifting your focus within the now to a different now, which means you're a different person. Because everything that changes in the now changes everything in the now. It's not the same reality from one moment to the next, literally. Otherwise, you wouldn't have the experience of time. So the idea is that you literally are a different person when you change anything about yourself, and you're becoming a different person billions of times a second. So it's not about the idea of learning how to change, it's about the idea of realizing that you're constantly changing and constantly a different person in a different reality, in a different version of Earth, moment to moment to moment to moment to moment to moment to moment, and you get to say what you are, what person you are, how you define yourself every single moment. So you get to choose. As I just said, your greatest power is the freedom to choose who you prefer to be. And it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks you should be. They're not living your life. They're not your reality. You are your own universe. So be who you prefer to be. Define yourself as you prefer to. Behave as you prefer to, knowing that it's just as real as anything else you've ever done, because that wasn't actually you. You have to understand that everything exists at the same time, which means every single moment is actually about a different person. So even though you might have this illusion of continuity, that younger person was you, it isn't you. It's a different person. You're a different person than that you. It's not the same you. It may look like you may be creating a continuity that makes it seem like there's a continuous stream between that younger you and this particular you, but there isn't. That's an illusion. That's a different person. It's not you. You've changed, and therefore you're a different person, literally. Yes?
Yes.
That's how it works. So be the person you know you are now, instead of recreating the idea that you are still a person you've never been. You've never been that person. Now that you are defining yourself in this way, that definition literally makes you a completely different person who has never been that other person. This is what we call the 13th step. This is the idea of the true understanding that every change is total change and that things are changing, as I said, billions of times per second. I'll use the analogy that people on your planet often use of what you call addiction. When you see people suddenly stop doing addicting behavior, some kind of miraculous shift where one day they are having that behavior and the next day they are not, it's not because they actually stopped doing it. It's because the person they've become never did it. They have no history of doing it, and that's why it's so easy for them to not have any urges about the idea that they used to do it, is because they never did. They're not the same person, literally, anymore, and never have been that person. The illusion of continuity is broken. That's how you allow yourself to know you're changing, truly changing, into different people every moment. Let go of the illusion of continuity that anchors you to a past you never had, because everything is created from the present, including the past.
So my past is even different now.
Yes.
Was okay.
That's the idea. Now, it's going to seem to be. Whatever you create yourself to be is going to come with whatever past you still believe is relevant to you. But as you change the relevant definition, you're going to create a past that makes sense for the person you are now, because that's how it works in space-time. If you change yourself differently enough, you have to create a past that makes it make sense in space-time as to how you became the person you are now, which means you had to have had a different past than you had before in order to be the person you are now. Because everything is created from the present. There's no such thing as the past. It's an illusion. It's just another parallel present reality that you can decide to experience or not. So break the continuity and realize that every single moment that you become a different person, you have a different past. It may seem like it's always been the past, but that's just what has to come with it in order for you to have a sense of continuity in space-time reality.
Okay.
Many of you don't even know how many pasts you've experienced. Even collectively, as we have often given examples, what you consider to be your history as a collective right now may not necessarily have been your history 5 minutes ago. But it will seem to have always been your history. Oh yes, everyone knows that in X BC this... You don't know that that's the way it was 5 minutes ago. It might have been completely different 5 minutes ago, but it's going to seem like it's always been that way when you create a new past.
Okay.
Is this helping?
Yeah, this is helping.
All right.
I just want to share my experience of the weekend because I think it's helpful, and there comes a question with it.
Yes.
The last days, just being in the room.
Yes.
I asked the question the first day, and then but just being in the room, I felt like my vibration was shifting on a level.
Yes, because you are picking up on the frequency that we give off through the channel's body, and you're willing to match the frequency that's a higher frequency representation of yourself.
And I also think because I allowed it this time
Yes.
too, because you taught us to see everything as a positive in the
Yes,
formula. Yeah.
and also remember what we have called the triple A formula. On your culture, you have the synchronous convenience of having something called AAA, which you often use to rescue you when your vehicle breaks down. So the idea is we're suggesting a different AAA formula when you feel that your vehicle, yourself, has broken down and you feel the need to be rescued. Allow yourself to remember this AAA formula. A, acknowledge what you have, not what you don't have. B, appreciate what you have. And number 3, allow what needs to happen next to happen. Acknowledge, appreciate, allow. That's all you need to bring yourself back to center. Acknowledge what you have, not what you don't have. Appreciate what you have and allow what needs to happen next to happen.
Is this part of the excitement formula too, or?
It is a subset of it. It's a permission slip designed based on it.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, in the excitement formula, what really helped me to like increase my vibration is the I feel like I always followed my excitement.
Well, not always.
Not always, but like recently I've been really going for it and
All right.
not doing the not having the insistence.
Yes.
But I feel like where I always when something happened that I didn't like so much, preferred.
Is it truly a recognition of neutral non-preference, or is it a fear reaction? You have to have the ability to discern that honestly within yourself too.
It might have been a fear reaction, but I cleared that out
All right.
by giving it the possibility that it's like giving it a positive meaning.
It doesn't mean that you say that what is negative is positive. It means you stay in a positive state so that you can recognize how to use what is negative in a positive way.
How do you stay in a positive state if you see something?
Did we not explain that before? What other choice are you giving yourself? Why would you leave the positive state? What reasons are you creating to leave it?
It's just a natural reaction of
It
a
is
human
not
being.
a natural reaction. It is a learned reaction.
So how do I relearn?
By following the formula and keep practicing it until it becomes not second nature, first nature.
So by following the formula, it will automatically...
Keep doing it, just like anything. If you want to learn to play an instrument, what do? You keep practicing. So just keep doing it. Every chance you get, remind yourself to go back into that state.
Okay.
That's it.
That's
all you have to do.
I have a question about the formula.
Yes.
And I make it as an example because I think it's easier. This morning, so my highest excitement today clearly was coming here.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be here.
Exactly. But I realized there's a difference in excitements. So let's say my highest excitement is here, but
Yes.
there's a time span
Yes.
from me waking up
Yes.
to me getting here.
So
So
why can't that be exciting too?
That can. I'm just asking if, because when I wake up, in between those little moments, should I still ask?
Every moment can be as exciting as the next. It doesn't matter what it is you're doing. Do it in the way that's most exciting for you. Even the simple things, getting out of bed, getting dressed. Do it in the way that's most exciting for you so that you are allowing those moments to be what they can be. Don't diminish them. Don't devalue them.
No, of course, yeah. So on the way to my highest.
No. It's not on the way. Every moment is part of your excitement if you allow it to be and act as if it is and do it in the way that is most exciting. You're making a difference between those moments and other moments by saying, I'm on the way to my excitement. No, every moment.
Because on some points, it doesn't feel like I know what my next highest excitement
You don't
is.
have to know. It's very simple, very simple. You don't have to know the ultimate. Just take it a step at a time. If you want to, again, practice this, do it in exactly the way I just suggested. When you wake up in the most exciting way you can. What do you want around you when you wake up? Do you want flowers in your bedroom? Do you want a certain scent in your bedroom? Do you want a certain chime on your alarm if you use that? Do you want to wake up to music? Wake up in the most exciting way you can. If you want to stay in bed for a few minutes and recount your dreams, and that's more exciting, do it. When you finally decide that you wish to be excited about rising from your bed, do it in the most exciting way you can. Whether it's a soft, calm swinging of your legs over the side, planting your feet in those wonderful, cozy slippers, or jumping and leaping out of bed, fully naked, into the bedroom. Do it in the way that's most exciting for you. And then every moment will feel fulfilling, and it's not that you will be ignoring them and invalidating them by saying that they're nothing more than a way on the way to your excitement. This is what we're talking about. Every moment.
So I make every moment a way.
Use your imagination.
Is it good to ask the question every moment, or does it make you just confused?
If that excites you, but once you practice it and get used to doing your
just
life
feel
that
it?
way, you won't have to keep asking the question. You will know what to do because you'll know yourself. Remember, it comes down to that ancient phrase, know thyself. So when you know who you are, you will start doing the things in the way that you would do them. That will always be the most exciting way you can do it, because why would you do those things any other way? If you are living your excitement, then do everything in your life in the most exciting way you can. Everything. Don't leave anything out. Why miss a moment? Why miss that precious, beautiful, exciting moment as I described of slipping your toes into those cozy slippers? Oh, that's ecstasy in that moment. Why miss out on that? Because you're in such a hurry to get somewhere more exciting. Don't rush ahead. What's your hurry? You are an infinite, eternal being. What's your hurry? Enjoy every moment.
Okay,
All right, does that help?
that helps.
All right.
What,
Then I would suggest that
Yeah.
for the moment, you find the most enjoyable way to get back to your seat.
oh, thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Really excited to be here.
Well, so are we.
So I wanted to, it's kind of an expansion on the question I asked last night on live stream.
Yes.
So you said the reason I had the dream about Orinoco's quest
Yes.
was because of my connection to hybrid kids.
On Earth in the future, yes.
Oh, okay. Because I was wondering, like, if you meant like a difference between the hybrid kids that I have, or if like you meant.
No, I meant what might be called a counterpart of your own from the same oversoul that is living life as a hybrid on the Earth in the future.
Okay, thank you.
So it has a degree of familiarity to you.
Okay, and then does taking birth control affect your psychic abilities? Like, does it?
It depends on your belief system.
Oh, so if you believe that you're fine, then it doesn't.
If you really, really,
Yeah.
truly know that to be true, yes. If you have questions about it, then you may be connecting into the collective consensus reality that says it might in fact affect it.
Okay.
So you have to decide for yourself what part of the collective works for you and what part of the belief system is your own individual belief system that works better for you than the collective consensus one.
Okay, and then I was reading one of the Dolores Cannon books,
Yes.
and they were talking about how, because I know that you talk about when you're part of the hybridization program, they
Yes.
take DNA material from you.
Yes.
And in one of the books, they talked about like some women are actually pregnant with a hybrid kid.
Yes, temporarily sometimes, and then they lose it, or what they think is a miscarriage that's not.
So it's like actually physical, like not just an energetic kind of.
Yes, it can actually be physical. And then the embryo is taken and matured on board the ships in hybridization tanks.
Wow. Okay. And then can you explain why, like the idea of soul families, why we have them instead?
Why do you have friends?
Well, no, I mean like instead of just everybody like being one soul family, I guess.
Well, on one level, of course, everyone is one soul family, but we understand that when you people use those terms, you're usually referring to something a little bit farther down the line and closer to physical reality in spirit.
Okay.
So there are, just as you have reasons for having the friends you have, there are reasons you have for having the soul family you have that is connected to the idea of your experiences on Earth. Plus, you all have soul families that might be connected to other civilizations or other dimensions of reality. And again, on and on and on and on and up and up and up and up until, of course, at that level, everything is one.
Okay. And then,
Of course, it doesn't end there.
yeah.
Because you can have families of the one.
Right. Okay. And so, also in my own encounter experience that I had in
Yes.
September, I was aware of like being on a. I mean, it might not have been a ship, but it was somewhere else. But I was also aware of being in my body in
Yes.
bed.
Yes.
But when the experience was over, I was
Yes.
left with a mark.
Yes.
So I was like,
It'll happen that way sometimes.
but how does that work mechanically? Like, is your
Because sometimes when you are shifted to a different reality and a certain adjustment or change is made, remember, as above, so below. So sometimes what is altered in the template level reality on a different level will then manifest in the physical reality as well.
Okay. And then, do we have technologies? Because I know a lot of us can go to like Sedona and sense vortices,
Yes.
just intuitively.
Yes.
But are there technologies that we can build or already have?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Do we already have them, or?
You have all the equipment. Sometimes there are combinations of them that are sensitive enough to detect the electromagnetic vortices.
Okay.
And sometimes you have other versions of technology that need to be put together in ways that would be sensitive enough to detect the vortices. But yes, you have the technology to do that.
Okay. Cool.
Yes.
And and then last night, or maybe it wasn't last night, maybe it was 2 nights ago. You were talking about someone asked a question, and you were talking about open contact.
Yes.
And I remember in other events you've said it's
2025 to 2033, maybe 2040. And the last time
Yeah.
we said it, we said 2033
Yeah.
to 2040. Yes, it's changed a bit, but it's always fluctuating. And when we gave that reading, that was indicative of the energy at the time we gave the reading.
and
Because sometimes that window will tighten, will widen, will collapse, will expand, depending on what's going on your planet, which is one of the reasons we're talking today about the eye of the storm and staying in the center, so that it may expand again for those that remain in the center. But it will collapse and continue to collapse for those that don't.
Okay. So life purpose numbers, are they
Life, purpose,
like life path numbers, like
life path numbers.
yeah, there's a book
You're
by-
talking about a permission slip.
Yeah. I
Well,
was-
you know what we say about permission slips, yes?
Yeah, how they just give you an opportunity to be more of yourself.
So if you are attracted to use it, that means it must be aligned at the moment with your belief system
Yeah.
to allow you the opportunity to circumvent your belief system.
Right. Yeah.
Because you think you need that particular tool, technique, ritual, or object to make it easier to give yourself permission to be more of who you choose to be. It's that simple. So all permission slips are valid. It just depends on what you're attracted to that will work best for you. That's why you're attracted to it.
Right. And then my last question is again about the hybrid kids.
Yes.
So I guess it's kind of a two-part question.
Oh, I love how clever you all are. It's my last 5-part question.
So I feel like so I was in a meditation one time and was really deep in it, and I felt like I went through a doorway, and
Yes.
if not all, most of my hybrid kids were there.
Yes. And so?
Was that like me actually seeing them, or just like
Yes. Yes.
okay.
What does actually mean?
Well, like
You shifted yourself through a portal to a higher dimensional plane where you had the ability in your senses to perceive that they are there.
no, yeah, I just thought like maybe because sometimes when we dream, it's like how you say that it's like sometimes it's not actually you that's in our dream. It's our
Yes, I understand. But in the case you're talking about, yes, you were able to perceive your hybrid children.
Okay, and then will I ever be able to meet them like in physical reality?
There are high probabilities of that occurring in your lifetime, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bashar! So excited. Okay.
And?
Okay, I have 3 questions.
Yes.
Okay, so the first one, remember in the last transmission you said anybody who wants contact can go to Joshua Tree? In the
We didn't say want.
Oh. What did you say?
We simply said that there was an opportunity to experience more opening, different things. It would help heighten the probability of contact in the future, but to simply go and see what you experience so that we can observe where you're at with regard to the idea of contact.
Okay, got it. Well, I went
Yes.
and I saw what looked like 3 spaceships.
All right.
So I wanted to ask you, like, who were they and what was it?
Who were they and what was it?
Yeah, like who was in those ships? Are you allowed to tell me?
I'm allowed to say that some of it is friends of yours, some of it is people you don't know, and some of it is other versions of yourself.
Other versions of myself in
Many
another...
of you have counterparts in some of the extraterrestrial civilizations that visit you, so that you will have a degree of vibrational familiarity with them.
Okay.
Like looking into a mirror but seeing a different face.
But then
Knowing that it's still another version of the oversoul that you are also an extension from.
Got it. But then it's also like maybe another being, like a hybrid being, like
Yes,
version of
in
myself.
general, there were
Okay.
many, many hybrids present at that moment.
Oh, there were. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So it was great. Then the second question is, then after that experience, I had this really vivid dream
Yes.
where I was on a spaceship
Yes.
and they were doing something. I don't know what they were doing.
All right. A memory of an actual encounter.
Can you tell me what that was? Like what they were doing?
Taking a closer look, taking a deeper observation, a measurement of your energy, and again, how close you may be to the vibration that would allow for a higher degree of probability of contact in the future.
Okay.
They wanted to take a more specific reading.
Okay. Is that possible in my lifetime?
Yes.
Okay.
Remember, again, it's not so much that things are or are not possible, it's whether they are probable or relevant.
Is
There
it
is a high
probable and
degree of
relevant?
probability, yes. Otherwise, again, we probably wouldn't be having these conversations.
Right. Right. Okay.
You can use us to some degree as a marker that those that find us have a great deal of connection to the idea of the hybrids and the idea of experiencing contact. It doesn't mean it's all guaranteed, but it means that your willingness to participate in the beginnings of contact, which is what these exchanges are, heightens the probability of actual physical contact in the future. So generally speaking, those that are present in these exchanges and listening in to these exchanges, those that are connected vibrationally and feel a familiarity with us and the way we share information with you are probably on a similar wavelength, close enough to continue to expand your energy toward the idea of open contact. Otherwise, again, it is not as likely that you would be participating with us in these exchanges. Now, again, it doesn't mean you can't change your mind. It doesn't mean you can't succumb to negative and fear-based belief systems that would take you farther away from the idea of the probability of contact. But in general, if you just let go and go along for the ride and follow the formula, and as we recently said, stay in the eye of the storm, it is increasing the probability of contact with us or beings like us in the relatively near future.
Okay, that makes sense.
I know, that's why I said it.
Okay, then the last thing is, you know how you were talking about neutral preference and like
Yes.
choosing things that are vibrational alignment.
Yes, vibrationally compatible with who you prefer to be.
So then I guess what's the balance between, you know, when you meet people that
Yes.
may not occur, like they are vibrational balance?
Are you saying that they're vibrationally incompatible? Or
Yeah,
compatible?
I experienced that, and then I wonder, am I just being biased?
First step, remember. First step always. Honest self-examination. Am I dampening my excitement? Am I biasing the energy with my belief systems?
Right.
Always do that examination first. Then when you are clear that you may not be biasing it, then you know that what you're sensing really is not your preference vibrationally. Again, this is what we're talking about when we say it's important to have clear discernment. But you have to start with yourself in that discernment. Am I coloring this? Could it be something that could serve me? Could it be something that could be made more vibrationally compatible if I change my belief system about what I'm experiencing here? But if you come right down to the core, the essence of the situation, the circumstance, and the belief systems that are active within you at that moment and determine, no, I'm pretty clear that this is vibrationally incompatible with what I prefer, then it's easy to make the decision as to not engage.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
But it starts with you. You have to be clear within yourself about what you're doing.
I get that. I think the only thing that I get a little confused about is how, you know how I was watching a video and you were sharing how like everybody that we interact with, we're only seeing our version of them.
Yes.
So then ultimately, if I'm creating how they're showing up or I'm seeing my version of them,
Yes.
then, and if they're showing up in my life,
Yes.
then
But for what reason?
for what reason is for me to discover.
Exactly.
Okay.
And as you clarify yourself, you'll understand why you attracted yourself into that circumstance with that person. Whether or not it's for the circumstance of gaining more discernment, more clarity within yourself, and recognizing you don't need to continue to create your version of them anymore, or you do.
Okay.
Yes?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Hello again, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
So I spoke with you yesterday, and I guess I forgot to ask you a question. That's
all
why
right.
you called me today. So again, regarding the experience that I had at Joshua Tree,
Yes, yes,
the
yes.
whole point of me sharing that experience is because I wanted to ask you.
Ask the question before
Yeah.
you forget it again.
Okay, so first I wanted to say something else, and then I will ask it. I will not
All
forget
right.
it this time. So the reason I didn't wanted to blend the energy with what I perceived to be them, it was because I didn't know them. It felt like an intimate process, and I didn't know who they were.
All right.
So now I have the question,
Yes.
have I created that, my higher mind created, I know the experience was real, clearly real, but have I created that experience, like my higher mind created it as a permission slip for me to
know yourself better.
and to release some of my beliefs, or
Yes.
I really had a communication with
Both.
I knew you were going to answer that. So may I know who I was communicating with?
No.
Of course.
You have to know yourself better first, and then you will know.
Now, I realized the next day when I was thinking about it, and I had the realization this morning that I keep saying we are all one.
Yes, on one level you are.
Okay.
But the idea that you're an individual is also real.
Yes. So I don't regret not, I respected, I honored my beliefs in the moments.
Yes.
So I don't regret that. But if I would know experientially that we are all one,
Yes.
I wouldn't have fear that connection, that blending of
You're
energy.
putting the cart before the horse, as you say. If you let go of the fear, you will have the experience that everything is one. It's the fear that's preventing you from having that experience.
I know.
You can't have the experience and hold on to the fear and say, I'm going to have the experience first and then I'll let go of my fear. You cannot experience what you're not the vibration of first.
No, but when I keep telling people that we are all one, because I know it to be true.
Yes, but
It's just
so
that I
what?
don't believe it.
People are saying, so what? How is that practical to know that? And we're telling you the way that it's practical to know that is to be the fullest individual you can be. Because it's not about the idea of losing the individuality in knowing you're all one. It's about the idea of validating, fully validating your individuality. That's what allows you to feel the harmony and the unity of being one. Not about being homogenous like everyone else, but validating all the differences that make you unique. That's the paradox. Validating the differences that make you a unique individual is what allows you to actually feel connected to everything as one.
All right, so I still have to work on this one.
Oh, all right, please do.
Now, yesterday I had 2 more questions. Are you allowing me to explore one of those?
Nope. You need to work on that one.
I knew that. Thank you so much.
Thank you for allowing us to live up to what you already knew to be true.
Thank you.
Hi, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
My question, I think it's about discernment. So in my younger days, I used to be more into like activism. I was a vegan, and I was into like passing out pamphlets, you know,
Yes.
and even setting up fundraisers and things like that. And
Yeah.
then I started to do more inner work,
Yes.
and I realized that, you know, as
Well, they can go hand in hand, you know.
yes, of course. So I'm noticing
Yes.
that, like, I don't really watch the news. I don't really participate in any political, you know, activities or marches
right.
or anything like that. I do vote, but
Yes.
I'm wondering if I'm kind of starting to blur the line of inner peace and apathy.
No. Inner peace is not apathy.
In my personal case,
Yes.
that I somehow, you know, choose to believe that my apathy is inner peace.
Why? You know the difference between the two, or you wouldn't have 2 different words for it.
That is true.
I know. So you know what apathy feels like, and you know the difference between that and inner peace.
Okay.
So where's the confusion?
I guess the confusion is, I don't know, like, I guess the confusion is, like, I don't feel exactly called to take strong actions.
What do you feel called to take strong actions in?
Well, my personal creative projects and
Such as?
such as
What are you excited about? What are you passionate about doing that you're not doing?
dancing and, you know, other creative, like traveling, and I do those things.
All right. But is there something else you're not doing that you would prefer to be doing?
Well, when a friend was sharing with me about what's really going on at the borders, you know, with the
Yes.
what the ICE is doing and all that stuff, you know, and I was, my first reaction was, you know, well, this is,
What would you prefer to be doing? I don't need the backstory.
I feel like I should be more involved.
Not should. What do you prefer to be doing?
I prefer to do creative projects that make me feel happy, but I feel like maybe I can, on a personal level, make small donations or, you know,
Do whatever you wish, but what we're attempting to lead you to understand is that if you are acting on your true passion, some expression of that will actually be helping more than anything you could do that is not an expression of your passion.
Okay.
You understand? You may not understand how those things are connected,
Yeah.
but they are if you are working and doing things in the action of your passion, because other people will see that and you will have more effect on them than you otherwise might doing the things you think you should be doing in the way you think you should be doing it that isn't coming from your passion.
Okay.
But only feels like an obligation. And when you do that, that's where the apathy comes in, because you're not excited about what you're doing, so you no longer care. So when you do what you love to do, you are more of a living example to others than you may know. Even someone you may never meet, seeing you walking down the street being this wonderfully happy person because you are creatively expressing yourself, may have more of an effect on that stranger than you would ever have an effect on people you know when you're doing something that you don't love to do. It may change everything for them in their lives just by seeing the living example you are of following your passion. You don't have to know exactly how those people get impacted by you. You just know that they are being impacted where they need to be. By you being yourself, that's the whole idea. When you are the shape of the puzzle piece you were created to be, you fit in the puzzle picture and help create the big picture that supports all of the pieces that make it up. But if you're not being the shape you were made to be, you don't fit. You're not helping to create the big picture. The big picture cannot be experienced by the other pieces as supporting them. Make sense?
Yes.
Does this help?
Yes.
So follow your passion, act on your passion in whatever expressions naturally come, and you will be led through synchronicity to do the things, and sometimes they may look similar to what you were doing before, but you will have found a new way to do them from your passion that you may not have considered before because you weren't in the proper state to see that that was also an alternative way to do it.
Yes.
You have to be the vibrational state to even conceive of the way to do certain things that are representative of that state. Otherwise, those thoughts, those inspirations don't come to you because you're not on the wavelength to receive them.
Okay.
All right? So start with the formula and just see what happens, see where you're led, and whatever opportunity is presented to you, always look for the way to do it in the most exciting way you can, and have the discernment to tell the difference between whether it is truly representative of your preference or not. And of course, the remember to make sure that you're not the one dampening the excitement with negative belief systems you're unaware of.
Okay.
Yes? Does this help?
Yes.
All right.
One follow-up question may have just the same answer.
Maybe.
But so I started out creatively as an actor, and I used to pursue it a lot. And then I started to pursue other things that were more exciting to me. And then
At the time.
And so I kind of just not really focused on acting. And then the weird thing was I started just booking jobs and getting more auditions.
Yes.
But my excitement is still feels like somewhere else. But this keeps happening. So I keep following
Again, are you blocking what could be exciting with your assumptions that it's not?
Yes.
Then use your imagination to see that these things are coming to you in a way that gives you an opportunity to really look for other ways in which you might be able to find the excitement in that, or finally and ultimately determine that it is simply not your preference, not your excitement, but because you keep repeating it for yourself, you are trying to tell yourself something. And it might simply be that you have too many negative fear-based belief assumptions about what doing that may actually mean, when you could be using your imagination to figure out how it would be more exciting to do it in a different way than most people might assume. Think, as you say, outside the box. And finally, actually even get to the point where you realize there is no box.
Sounds good. Thank you.
You are welcome. Now, I am going to audition you right now. Show me a person finding their way back to their seat.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cut. That's the take. Now we'll see what winds up on the cutting room floor.
Thank you very much for allowing me this opportunity.
And to you, good day.
Good day. I was invited here, and I've never experienced you before.
And what a coincidence. I've never experienced you before either.
Amazing.
So we're on the same level already.
My first question is on behalf of my mother.
Yes.
Who invited me here today.
Yes.
If Darryl Anka is here and speaking for a future self, Bashar, what happened in between?
We're not sure that your question is translating. What exactly are you asking?
How did you become this entity?
You mean, how did the channel become a channel for us?
Yes.
Well, that story does exist in many forms. The brief version is that many of your years ago, because an agreement was made for the channel to do this with us in this life, we showed him our spacecraft on 2 occasions in 1 week. Because he had those particular close broad daylight sightings, his curiosity to research and explore what that meant became paramount in his vision. Therefore, through the research, through many years, he encountered many different kinds of concepts that you would call metaphysical, and ultimately found his way, synchronistically, to another channel who was teaching a channeling class with an entity. And in going into that class to research the idea of how channeling could be taught, in a meditative state, a memory finally came back and a message was delivered by us that now that he remembered, we had shown him our ship to get him to start learning what he needed to learn, so that by the time it came time to begin the channeling, he would be prepared to do so and wouldn't be confused or scared. Then he took upon himself the willingness to continue and see where it would lead. Thus, 37 of your years ago, he began this and is still doing it today because he understands that the most important thing about this particular process is the accessibility to the information that will help individuals who choose to use it for that purpose. Does that answer your question?
I hope it does. Thank you.
Or are you asking something different?
I will be asking another line of questioning on behalf of myself now.
All right.
As I'm developing business
Yes.
and success and
Oh,
influences...
One moment. There's another piece to this idea. Understand that the way this happens for all of you is that when you do what you love to do, you are in the channeling state, which is a particular brainwave frequency between 40 and 100 cycles per second called gamma. And when you're in that state, you are matching frequencies with other levels of consciousness. And in matching those frequencies, you generate the same thoughts at the same time as the other entity. So the channel is functioning as a translation device by allowing himself to get into an altered state that represents the ability to translate his own thoughts at the same level that my thoughts are happening. So in that sense, he becomes a representation of my thoughts, a representation of my personality, a representation of the information through his own body, because we're operating in lockstep like tuning forks. That's how channeling works. So, proceed with your own question.
Thank you. As I develop influence and success through business,
Yes.
I'm finding that even though I intend to benefit society and myself, there are unintended consequences that negatively affect other people.
Such as?
Creating a new system or way of doing things
Yes.
that is putting other people out of work.
So what can be done to ameliorate that?
Is it possible to undertake business without, or any other type of political organization without unintentionally negatively affecting others?
Others that choose to be negatively affected is something you can do nothing about. But if you realize that what you're doing may bring about the potential for change that may make it less likely for them to continue to do what they're doing, then a portion of the business to truly be successful must undertake the entire operation of providing, at the very least, information that may help educate others to learn how to do something else.
Excellent. And with regards to acting in a business,
yes,
when one's reality and interests conflict negatively with another's or completely opposing interests,
that's usually the result of surface negative fear-based belief systems. And when you get those out of the way and go really into the depth of what each being really needs, you will usually find more coherence, or that their needs can be fulfilled much simpler than you think. Because usually people say, well, I really need this, I really need that, and they don't really. When it comes down to the simple things they truly need, you can usually find a way to satisfy everybody if they're willing to divest themselves of the superficial things they think they need in order to be successful. They will usually discover that it's actually very simple and that some accommodation can be had by all.
So in an event that interests and needs are completely divergent.
Give us an example.
Let's say that, let's say you try and help somebody with one thing and it results in them identifying a piece of their building that is imminently going to kill people if it collapses.
All right.
And they wish to waylay blame onto the person who is discovering this.
So this is what I'm talking about. You are dealing with individuals who are simply unwilling to look and take responsibility at their own belief systems.
And so what decides whose reality prevails?
You both do, for yourselves. But again, you have to also question yourself about exactly why you have involved yourself in something that brought about interaction with someone who may not be willing to see eye to eye. So you have to take responsibility for your part of the experience while allowing them to take responsibility for their part, whether they're willing to do that or not. It's up to you to take responsibility for your part and why you attracted this and what it is you're learning from this experience and whether or not it's something you even need to continue with.
How does one bring that into their reality, such negativity?
You attract it because it exists, and you attract it to learn something from it and decide for yourself whether it's something you want to continue to interact with or not.
And how does one leave that interaction?
You walk away. You let go. You realize you don't really need it anymore. You realize you've learned the lesson from it. Remember that sometimes you will attract very strongly a representation of what you don't prefer to make it clearer what you do prefer. And if it's made clear what you do prefer by contrast from what you don't prefer, then turn around and go and do what you prefer. Don't keep hanging on to what you don't prefer, thinking that you have to remain engaged with it. You have learned the lesson. Walk away.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Remember that by being your true self, it's the most loving thing you can do for someone else, because then they understand who they're actually in a relationship with. And if they actually wish to continue to be in a relationship with you, then that gives them the option to change to be more compatible with you, so that you don't have to change to become more compatible with something you don't prefer.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I was sitting here in the audience last night.
Yes.
I got a memory and thought about since 1990, around 1998.
Yes.
And it had to do with when I participated with you, when you did an event in Thousand Oaks, when you had the money abundance seminar for us.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay? And you had everybody bring a coin.
Yes.
All right. And then my participation was I made up flyers and I called everybody to get them there.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And then the next day, this man called me.
Yes.
And he said that, well, I had the monatomic stones and everything at the time.
Yes.
All right. And I'd made jewelry out of it and the whole
Yes,
thing.
yes, yes.
All right. So he called me and said that he was sort of told that he needed to come and buy some of my stones.
Yes.
So he came over to my house and he picked out a lot of stuff and he said, but he wanted so much more. And he said, I just have $300 with me
Yes.
in cash and I want to go home and get more
Yes.
and bring back.
Yes.
Oh, I'm shaking again. Oh.
And so?
And so he lived about an hour away. Anyway, he came back.
Yes.
And then he bought $1,200 worth of stuff.
All right.
And at the end of the conversation, he said his name was Sananda.
Yes.
And he said at the end of the conversation, he said, I'm an ET. And I said, okay. And I said, we should, let's talk about that. And he said, he was leaving and we would talk about it another time.
Yes.
Okay. So what was he an ET? I mean, what was that about?
Not in the way he meant it, no. Not in the way you thought he meant it, no. He has a realization of his connections to extraterrestrial energies and was expressing some of that to you.
Okay, I had felt that because we had that money about abundance and everything, and I had done the work, I felt that was sort of, at the time, like you had sent him almost for my abundancy.
I didn't send him. You attracted that so you could have a representation and a reflection that at that moment you were working in a state of being that was more conducive and more aligned with your true self and your connections to extraterrestrial sources as well.
Okay, so now why would that pop into my mind when I was sitting here last night?
Gosh, I don't know. Maybe because you're in the presence of an extraterrestrial?
Well, yeah. But I would just thought maybe there'd be more of a connection than he thought, his own connections as to what that was for me other than, so it was the abundance part.
Yes.
Okay.
And also the alignment part and the ability, when you are aligned that way, to experience and attract more things that will reflect that and remind you of that so that you use them as markers to know that you're in the proper state at that moment when that happens.
Okay. And I also felt that I got information for you about a download, that you would be downloading me with some information.
And we have from time to time done that.
Okay, that was last night. I got a telepathic communication with you. Okay. And I thought maybe that was about the grays. The gray.
Some of it was connected to that, but it goes beyond that.
Okay, so.
But we're certainly not going to talk about it in public.
No, I know we can't talk about it in public.
All right.
But that was the message to me, that you would download me with some information about
we
it.
did.
Okay, very good. The other thing I wanted to, about the higher self.
Yes.
I've been talking to my higher self for 30 years.
Yes.
His name is Armandi.
If you say so.
Well, yeah. And so I see Armandi, he's male, and I
Please understand the higher self is non-physical.
Yeah,
it isn't
I know
one
that.
thing or another, but it will represent itself with a vibration that works for you symbolically. So what you're describing is the representation that the higher mind is giving you to work with. It doesn't mean the higher mind itself is male.
Okay. He just represents himself as male.
Yes, because it's what you will work with more easily.
Okay. It's non-physical, okay?
Yes.
But are they autonomous unto himself, a higher self?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. They're actually
Every
separate.
form and expression of consciousness is autonomous unto itself.
Okay. That's what I wanted to know.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Nania.
Hi, Tadeo. I got some questions for you.
From the streamers.
Yes.
All right.
That sounds like a party, streamers.
Yes.
When you're referring to multiple timelines,
Yes.
and the idea that does one of these timelines lead to the idea of ascension and others not?
Correct.
Okay. And what happens to our children if we choose a timeline for ascension? Do we stop seeing them in the new reality where there is peace and no war?
Well, if you're suggesting that the children are not on the same wavelength, then yes, you ultimately won't experience them anymore. But if they're on the same wavelength, they will be experienced by you.
So, what advice do you have for people who feel very uncomfortable with that idea?
Uncomfortable with what idea?
The idea that their loved ones would disappear because they're choosing a path that's very different.
If they truly are loved ones, then you will let them walk whatever path they choose. Because love needs to be unconditional, or it's not really love.
That sounds...
Because again, remember, you're all eternal, infinite beings. And even if you're taking different paths temporarily, you will meet again.
It's strange. It sounds like tough love.
Well, then that's tough. We're making a joke. But the idea is it's true love when you allow someone to be who they need to be. Even if you understand that they may be making choices, you have taught them the best you can, they simply won't accept that teaching that could make it easier for them. Again, what they choose to do with what you share is none of your business because they are an individual. They have their own path, and you've done your best to give them the option to choose something more joyful. But if they haven't chosen it, then you have to see that that's your first clue that they may need to take a different path first before they come around to that realization in their own good timing. That's true love, because you come from a position of seeing them as strong and powerful enough to eventually get the realization. Otherwise, you're seeing them as weak. Oh no, poor them. They're at a loss. I'm losing them. They're lost. Don't see them that way. See them as a powerful being taking a journey that may not be the journey that you prefer, but it may be the journey they need to wake them up. So you have to see it as an act of love, true love, to let them be who they are after you've done everything you can to give them the option to make other choices.
You know, one thing I notice is that you always look at other people and other beings as being empowered.
Of course, because you are. Remember, even when you feel that you're not empowered, you're using your power to create that. That's the paradox. When you feel out of control, you're controlling that. When you feel you lack trust, you're trusting that you lack trust. When you don't feel confident, you're confident that you lack confidence. You cannot be not confident. You cannot be not trusting. You cannot be out of control. You cannot be disempowered. If that was true, you would have no experience at all. It's simply that you're using your power, you're using your trust, you're using your confidence, and you're using your control to create things you don't prefer instead of the things you do.
And so in our society, I think often we're trained to see people as being disempowered.
Yes.
And so that's one of the first changes that you can make in how you perceive others.
Yes.
In order to
Everyone is completely empowered, but sometimes they use their power to forget that they're empowered.
And of course, that doesn't mean not extending assistance. It just simply
Of course not.
means
But you can only
perceiving
extend that assistance so far. You can only give them the understanding that it is an option and an opportunity to realize the paradox and that they are empowered and simply using their power to create a feeling of being disempowered. But if they don't understand that and don't have the wherewithal, the tools, or the notion, or the desire to understand or accept that, then what they do is none of your business. You've done all you can. That's it. Move on.
So that helps navigate.
Yes.
Physical reality
And again,
and our relationships.
You'll meet them again someday, and you'll all have a good laugh about it.
But I think it also has such a personal impact when you consistently see other people as being empowered.
Yes.
It also
It empowers.
amplifies your own energy.
Yes. And therefore, by amplifying your own energy, you may rise to a level where you have more wherewithal to share with them in a way that might actually tip the scale for them.
And that's really true, because as your frequency goes up, then you perceive much more precisely exactly what another person needs in order to move to the next step.
Exactly. But still, you may come across people who have a particular path, and they may need to go down a very different path at first. And you have to get to a point where you can discern that too. And be okay with that, because you're still seeing them as empowered.
So ultimately, it's a big journey of discernment.
Yes.
Learning how to discern better,
Yes.
better, and better,
Yes.
and better. Yes.
And make the choices that are in alignment with the things you now are capable of discerning.
Right.
That are really, really true in your heart of hearts for the kind of reality you really prefer, regardless of the appearances going on around you.
Fascinating.
Yes, it is. Anything else?
So this question is, after I leave this life or reality, what happens to my animals? Are they just a dream and they leave also?
Not necessarily. Some of them might, but they don't have to. They're their own autonomous beings. They may have other things to do on their journey. But some of them will join you.
But they continue, because a lot of times you'll have an encounter.
Remember this as well.
Yes.
Again, this is the thing that many of you keep forgetting. You're already there. So are the animals. Already there. So when you wake up in spirit out of the physical dream, the portion of the animal spirit that is already there will be there with you anyway. So it won't matter what the portion that is still in physical reality, in a sense, is doing. You won't miss them. They're there with you already.
Very good. Now, last night you said something about you sensed the leading edge of something coming.
Yes.
And was that felt and expressed towards any of the questions that came from the streaming group, or can you identify?
It was.
Do you want to share anything about that?
I do not.
Ooh, mysterious.
It will remain a mystery, and that's part of the purpose. But we are feeling a leading edge.
Ooh.
It's coming closer and closer and closer. Look out. Stay in the eye. Stay in the eye. Stay in the eye.
I will. Okay, so I think we're probably getting... So here's the last thing.
Yes.
Can you tell us about a specific 2020 event we may want to pay attention to?
We are conferring. One moment. This requires more input than usual. One moment. We are gathering consensus from different sources. One moment. There is a high degree of probability of a very noticeable, pivotal event that may crop up in the area you call the Eastern European bloc. That will change many things. This may occur as late as the time you call September. It may occur earlier than that, but it may occur as late as the fall of 2020 and be a pivotal moment in your social understanding, your political understanding, and the revelation of circumstances heretofore hidden. This is all we are allowed to say. So look to the Eastern Bloc in Europe and watch for the signs and act accordingly from the eye of the storm. For it may amplify greatly the thunder and the lightning and the rage of the storm. But you can come out of it. You can come out of it by remaining at peace and calm in the eye. That is all. Please take a short break. We will resume this transmission with the crystallization meditation for the eye of the storm. All right, I'll say, let us continue this transmission by asking each and every one of you to allow yourselves to become very relaxed in your seats. Take a deep breath in and let it out. One more time, a deep breath in and let it out. And a third time, a deep breath in and hold it. Hold it and blow it out. Continue to breathe gently, deeply. Let go of the cares of the day. Just relax. You are here and now exactly where you need to be. Allow your music and lights to begin to play as you allow yourself to open to the holotope before you. Focus your eyes on the center of the image. For this is the eye of the storm. Use it as a symbol. As you continue to breathe, use it, ingrain it, absorb it, allow it into your mind and into your heart as a symbol, the center, with everything swirling around it as the holotope depicts. Ring upon ring upon ring of different events, different circumstances, different situations that may crop up in the storm that surrounds you, swirling around you, a maelstrom of thunder and lightning, but also containing the elements of peace and beauty and power, so that from within the center, as the storm swirls around you, you may be in a place of stability and peace and calm and certainty and confidence, so that you may extract from what is swirling around you that which truly represents the reality that you prefer, in energy, in tone, in speech, in action. All of the things that you choose to do from this place, in the here and the now at the center of the storm, will come from the true you if you allow it. Relax into it. Absorb its power, the power of peace, the power of solitude, the power of knowing who you truly are. And as you imagine yourself at any time, anywhere, any place, no matter what may happen in the year and years to come, remember this moment. Call yourself back to this moment so that you are standing in the eye, the peaceful, beautiful, brilliant, bright eye of the storm, which is the eye of all that is. For it sees all that surrounds and all that manifests and all that it is in reflections of infinite proportions, infinite perspectives, infinite beauty, infinite meaning, infinite being. Imagine yourselves now as you focus on the center that you are seeing in your mind's eye, that you are in the eye of a storm that surrounds you. The clouds rise up to the heights. You see within it the flashes of lightning, of different occurrences, and the peals of thunder that reach your ears, that remind you that there are things going on around you all the time. But you also see the cloud tops and the sunlight reflecting upon them, and you take that into your heart. And the air in the eye is fresh and clean and invigorating and crisp. And take a deep, deep breath of it right now and reassure yourself that you are where you need to be. You know in your heart, you know in your discernment, and you know in your choices what is truly aligned with this moment, with this place of peace. And you know the difference between this and the chaos that surrounds you. Choose. Choose to be here with us in this now moment. All of your brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers, with your family, in physical and non-physical reality, in the here and the now. Choose to stay with us here. Choose to remain in our loving embrace. Choose to be who you truly are, so that you may receive and experience the unconditional love that you are always being given, but which, through fear-based beliefs, you may not always perceive. Open up to being willing to allow it into your heart and into your life in this place of perfect peace amid the chaos that swirls around you. Observe it from a neutral position. Understand it with compassion. And choose to be who you truly are in your heart of hearts. You know the difference. You can see the difference between what you prefer and what you do not. You know how to tell the difference. Relax into this moment. Relax into the eye of the storm. Relax into the peace and certainty. Do not give over to anger. Do not give over to justification. Do not pay attention to the fear-based beliefs when they tell you the lies about yourself, that you are not worthy, not deserving, not powerful, not trusting, not confident. For you are always all these things and more. No matter what you may feel at any given moment, it is always the result of what you choose to believe is true. So rather than marshal a defense, simply be decisive, be discerning, be aware, open your eyes and see what is true. Do not pay attention to the words, but the actions of those you encounter, for that is the truth that they speak. Watch what they do as we watch you, and see whether or not you are choosing to be in this space and in this reality where we may someday meet and play and expand the cosmic family to which we all belong. Allow the vibration that you hear and the vibrations that you see to penetrate deep within your soul and ignite the light within you so that you may light the path that will stretch before you once you emerge from the eye of the storm. For the storm shall calm, the storm shall dissipate eventually, and you will be left on the path that you chose while in the eye. And that will be the path that you shall walk. So whatever you choose, own it now. Decide now what is the true path for you. For on some of those paths you will find us, and on some you will not. And on some of those paths you will find yourself, and on some you will not. Choose wisely from your heart, from what you know to be true in the depths of your soul, in the depths of your being, and walk the path you chose with responsibility and peace and power. And you will learn the lessons thereupon that are designed just for you. And you will grow and you will see with different eyes in time. One way or the other, you will find your way home. But it is up to you. Through what forests and deserts and snow-capped peaks you may journey before you arrive home. Allow your path to be the path of least resistance, the path that is truly reflective of who you know yourself to be. Let go and surrender. Surrender the opinions of the mind that come from negative and fear-based beliefs. That is not your rudder. That is not your compass. Your passion is your compass. It points to your magnetic north. Walk the path that is true for you. Walk within your true self. And as you now stand here in the eye of the storm, with the clouds swirling all around you, take once again a deep breath of that crystal clear air that invigorates and energizes and enlightens you. And let it out. And as you let it out, let go of the things that do not need to be in your heart, that do not need to be in your mind, that do not need to be in your reality, that do not need to be in your life. But invite in only the things you truly need, for the things you need will fulfill you. And allow you to walk the path with eyes wide open and experience the journey of beauty and joy and creativity and love and peace and power and knowingness. Open up to the symbols of synchronicity as they may join you in the eye of the storm, so that you may choose wisely and discern wisely from those symbols that represent who you truly are, and see through the illusions that do not serve you. Open your eyes and let go of anything you have been holding on to that you thought was important that you now know is not. Relationship, the ones that reflect to you that which truly allow you to grow and become more of who you are the ones that are going to be vibrationally compatible with the reality in which we can together one day play. Let them be without imposition, without assumption, without framing them in what your mind and beliefs thinks they should be, but let them be what they are as they come to you. Let the relationships and the symbols of synchronicity show you why they are there. Do not impose upon them your assumption or your insistence. Let them be what they are, for they are automatically designed to serve you, automatically designed to uplift you, automatically designed to support you, here in the eye of the storm. Do not leave. Do not leave that vibration. Do not walk away from yourself, but invite yourself back in, your true self. In dreams and in life, the physical dream, invite yourself to live the dream that is true for you, regardless of anyone else's perspective or opinion, for they do not live your life, you do. Be true to your own path. Be true to yourself and know yourself. Know yourself. Know yourself. Breathe in again the crisp, clear, crystalline air of the eye of the storm and feel it fill you up, every cell, every atom. And feel that spark of divine light burst forth within you. All things aligning, soothing, nurturing, supporting. Relax into yourself. Be calm. Be calm. Think things through. Be calm. Respond accordingly. Be calm. Feel your power and feel that there is no need to rush. You are an eternal and indestructible being. There is nowhere more important you need to be than here and now. The present is all there is. Be present with yourself every moment that you can. Continue to breathe. Continue to relax. Let the vibrations dim, the music soften, the lights diminish, but remain in the eye of the storm, sensing the peace, sensing the calmness, and sensing the power within that. The power of peace. The power of your true selves. Continue to breathe it in and let yourself feel the arms of your cosmic family wrapped around you in unconditional love. We thank you for being a part of our family, and we welcome you into our home as you have welcomed us into yours. Be with us, journey with us, and the world shall open before you in ways you haven't imagined. We are always here for you, but we leave it to you to decide what path you shall take from here. We will have more to say in the year to come. Use your 2020 vision forward and your 2020 hindsight to bring them into the present, to learn the lessons you have learned, and to apply them forward to the reality you prefer. Continue to breathe and be at peace, and receive our unconditional love, as always. Welcome home, welcome home, welcome home.